on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey and this is my Jeep, and on this upload we're going to be taking a first look at Warn's new Sidewinder winch hook. They have the Epic hook already, but this guy here is meant to be used without any shackles. It's their closed winching solution, I think, to compete with some of the other solutions out there, like what Factory 55 makes and a few other brands. This Sidewinder is the last piece that I was waiting for in Warn's new Epic lineup. As you may have saw in my last upload, we had the new Hyperlink, which is their new dual pin shackle. And you may remember this guy from a few uploads. I actually gave one of these away. I received a few of these quite a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting for this Sidewinder to arrive, and I wanted to install this. This is Warn's new Epic Fairlead, and they all kind of match up real nice. And basically all of these are designed to look very similar, same finishes, these same notches on the side. So they kind of complete Warn's entire winching lineup. As well, they match if you have the snatch block or even the other D-ring shackles that they had. This winch hook matches the rest of them really nicely. Before we get started with this video, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you here as a subscriber. If you're already subscribed, thanks so much, and make sure you have those notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my uploads. Basically, what Warn is trying to do with this is they've added a pin instead of a hook, and they're trying to reduce the number of shackles that you need in your recovery line. So you can hook this right up to your bumper or the bumper of the Jeep that you're recovering without having to add a D-ring shackle to it. And that just means there's one less piece of hardware in the link, one less piece of hardware to break or anything like that. And you could also use this to connect to your tree saver. So let's take a look at that in a second. So just like the Hyperlink, this has a aluminum body, but it has a steel forged pin for the attachment point. It's using a corrosion resistant anodized finish, but it also comes in a polished aluminum if you don't like the black or it's like carbon sort of gray look is the one that I got. So this winch hook, not a hook at all, but it's designed to be used up to 18,000 pounds. So it should cover, I think, pretty much all of Warn's winch line, or at least their off-road winches. I don't think go past 17,500. And just in case things get a little crazy, it's designed to have a minimum of 64,000 pound braking strength. So let's throw this on the winch. It's a 2-minute install, probably the easiest thing you could possibly do. Very simple design. It replaces or installs very much like a Factory 55 would, with just a little C-clip, and then you can pull out the pin and put that C-clip back on. So you will need some C-clip pliers if you don't have those already. That'll make this job a lot easier. I imagine you could probably wrangle it without them, but I've got some, so that's gonna just make this process a whole lot quicker. If you guys remember from the Hyperlink video, the piece that surrounds the pin was too fat. It wouldn't, I couldn't get this and fit this onto here. So let's just take a look at the Sidewinder and see if that'll still fit on my Crawler Concepts bumper. Now, I'm not overly worried because I'll never be recovering myself with this, but if I'm out with somebody else with a Crawler Concepts bumper, or I obviously can't measure every single shackle mount on every single bumper out there. So anyways, this looks like the same design as the Hyperlink, and let's see here. Yeah, I've got the same problem. So if you have, which this one here had less mounting space for a D-ring, this, you're not gonna be able to use this. So I would have to put my shackle back on if I want it to hook up to this. So just like the Hyperlink, you need a clearance of, if you can see that here, about 1 3/8 inch, I think it is. It's just under 1.5 inches, which is much more clearance than I have on this shackle here. You can see to the center point of my shackle, I only have about 1 inch, so that's why I can't use the Sidewinder on this mounting tab. But let's just take a look and see if we could actually use this with one of Warn's own D-ring shackles. So we just put it through sideways and connect that to the shackle. So that would work if I need it to hook up to another shackle. So let's just take a look at a standard shackle. Just this is a cheap one I had laying around. That would fit through here as well, so there's enough clearance to get the pin through. And hook that up. And then basically the same thing if you had a soft shackle. We just loosen that off. Pop that through. And plenty of room to put our soft shackle through if you want to hook up to something using that. So Warn's tree saver has metal ends, and it doesn't have these big fat ends. It has little round eyelets, which I think would slip in here. Sort of two of them would just slip in really nicely. But I wouldn't be able to use my tree saver without having a D-ring shackle as well. There's just no flex in that. I can maybe jam one side in, but there's no way that I'm getting two sides in here. So overall, this really doesn't seem to give me too much more advantage over what I would have with a normal hook. However, it does offer a little bit more convenience than a closed winching system like Factor 55's thimble or flat link or pro link. Well, pro link actually has a hook on it, so that kind of has some advantages. But this gives me an 18,000 pound winching system that all I have to do is remove this pin, and I can hook that up either to a mount point on a vehicle, or I can hook it up to a D-ring shackle that maybe is already on the vehicle, or I can hook it up to a D-ring shackle that's holding a tree saver together or some variation of that. But you still have to pull the pin out in order for that. But once that pin's in, you now have a closed system. So what I like about that is that if you had your shackle holding your tree saver together, if you were using a flat link or one effect, like another closed loop system, you'd have to have your shackle on here, and you'd either have to take your shackle off in order to connect your winch hook, say your flat link to it, or you'd have to have another shackle to connect your winch hook, to connect your flat link to your shackle that's holding this together. So with this though, I would not have to take my shackle off of this, and I could just hook my winch hook right up to the shackle holding it. And to me, that's a little bit better. I know that like I've been out and we've had where we've just left the tree saver sitting on the tree because we know we're gonna have to use it for others coming through. And it's nice to not have to take the shackle off that's holding it together. And it's nice to not have to grab another shackle. But on the flip side, with a regular winch hook, you can just clip on really quick and easy. But we know that winch hooks are not closed winching systems, and a closed winching system is generally safer because there's nothing to unhook. Even with that little clasp on the hook, there is a chance that it could pull off. So with this, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a closed winching system that's fairly easy and quick to use, and is a little bit more versatile because you don't always need a shackle with it. But you can, you get a little bit of convenience. Another nice thing, let's get this mounted up, but once this is in place and on your fair lead, like this, your winch hook or your winch line is not exposed at all. And I know, well, it's exposed a little bit here on the side, but not from the front, so it's not going to be taking any front damage. And I know that Factor 55 has recognized this, and they actually sell a plate that covers the front to prevent your winch line, especially the synthetic winch lines, from getting damaged. So this already is going to protect that from the front. Before I get started, I wanted to see if this was actually compatible with the hyperlinks. I'm not sure if it's going to be. Yeah, so so that's just something else. If you got these hyperlinks on, or somebody else has these hyperlinks on, they're not going to work with this. I don't think there's any way that you could make this work. So just something else to note, you're going to need to have some other shackle, or you're gonna have to remove this off somebody else's rig if you've got a Sidewinder and you want to be pulling them out. If you had a flat link, you'd be able to still use this. So I think that, let's see. Suppose you could do this. but I don't know if this is going to be rated, because you're only using one side of this, as opposed to when you have a flat link, it goes in the middle and you can thread your pin through. So I'm not sure quite what Warn was thinking with this line, because they're all supposed to, I'm assuming, you know, you just kind of order all of these and you've got a nice system, but in reality, you can't use the Sidewinder with the hyperlink. So you are going to need some other shackle to take. You're gonna have to take this off, put a different kind of shackle, or you can connect right to this here. But if you know, you already have this on here, now you gotta take it off. I don't know about everybody else, but I like to leave some shackles on mine. Anyways, just wanted to point that out. A little bit of incompatibility with the hyperlink and Sidewinder. So the install on this is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna pull the cotter pin out of my Epic hook here. That'll just release the pin. Off it goes. And with this guy, with the Sidewinder, we're going to pull this little C-clip out. Just going to take our snap rings, pop them in there, pull this guy out. Pretty straightforward. Slide this pin out. Put my winch line through here. Pop the pin back in. And just making sure that this is slotted in the groove in here. There's a little circle groove that goes around the inside. That looks to be in the groove. Now, something I did note, just with the snap ring pliers, I have kind of chipped off some of the anodizing. Now, this is aluminum, so it's not going to rust, but you know, in an area where you're going to be using snap ring pliers, they started to take the coating off quite easily. So there we go. Okay, just wanted to make sure that this is seated nicely in the groove here. But that's it. That's all it takes to install. Don't forget to put your pin back in. Now the pins with the hyperlinks are interchangeable. They do fit in there, so if you had a hyperlink with you and your pin is missing, then you'd still be able to use this. But if you didn't have a hyperlink and this came out, you know, for some reason out on the trail, your winch hook is pretty much useless. Warn doesn't include any extras of these. I didn't see them on their website to order if you needed a replacement. Might be something I would contact them about getting an extra one, because when I'm out, I like to have two of anything that I might consider critical, and my winching system is critical. I carry lots of extra shackles around. I actually have a second one of these in my gear bag in case something happens. I even carry a second winch line with me. So this is something that could potentially fall out, or you forget to put it back in, or you drop it in the mud or something like that and you can't find it, and now your winch is pretty much disabled. So you know, I think just comment back to Warn, they should include a spare one of these, because we're all about redundancy when we're out on the trail. So there we have it. I just popped Warn's new fair lead on as well. We've got the Sidewinder mounted up, and it's just snug on here with the rubber plate so it won't damage the fair lead. You know, it is pretty bulky. It's pretty bulky when you look at it. It sticks out more than a flat link would, where a flat link is going to close this gap here, where this is, you know, even though my winch is fairly tight, tighten it up a bit. There we go. Nice and snug. Not going to move around. And you can kind of see what it looks like from the different angles here. So there you guys go. There's a first look at Warn's new Sidewinder winch hook, or closed winch hook, winching system, whatever you want to call it. Rated for 18,000 pounds. Pretty cool little setup. Definitely some cons to it. As I kind of mentioned, it isn't compatible with the hyperlink, and you do run a risk of that pin coming out or you dropping it, and then now your winch hook is disabled. So Just a little feedback for Warn, I think including a second one, or at least being able to order that pin so that you can have 2 of them. I'm gonna keep my Epic hook in my gear bag in case something happens to that, because, well, I don't wanna be without a winch hook out on a trail or a long road trip and I'm away. I don't know a lot of people that are carrying spare winch hooks. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Warn's new Sidewinder and whether or not you'll be picking them up. I will put links in the description below to, I think Amazon has these, I believe they're $129 or $139 US. I'll have to double check, but links in the description below. If you want to check them out, go take a look. There's some more info on Warn's website, but I haven't seen anybody talking about these yet. I just got them. I've had them on order for like 3 months and they just arrived now. And everything just kind of arrived staggered, so I wasn't able to do one big video. But anyways, this is the Warn Sidewinder winch hook video. Let me know what you guys think. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you have those notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do a weekly upload, and I'm going to try to do a news upload midweek, probably Wednesday nights, because the last one I did seemed to be quite popular. Lots of likes from you guys and lots of views, so why not? We'll just keep tabs. Anything you guys want to see on the news, let me know in the comments below. As well, I'm going to try to keep track of what other Jeep YouTubers and off-road YouTubers or influencers are doing throughout Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. And so I want to give some highlights of videos that I've watched or information that I've collected throughout the week on my news upload, to try to just filter through all of the tons of great content that is coming through and give you guys what I think is the best videos to watch for the week or any information that I've found out. So make sure you're subscribed. And if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, guys. I do appreciate a lot. And I will answer any comments or questions that you guys leave down below. As always, I go through comments pretty much every morning and try to answer all your guys' questions. So with that said, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next upload.